Feeling the sun, party done, shadows walking home. Walking with our game on. You are my kind, classic mind, and you look so fine. Loving the cold, smoke a rose, see your fingers shake. And get it through your
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be doing another adulting 101 video since it's been a while since I've uploaded one for you guys. I figured if you guys have been watching my recent videos, you probably already know this, but it has been like a recent goal of mine to kind of, for lack of a better word, get my shit together. I was starting to create terrible habits that were causing me to self-sabotage and not get the things done that I wanted to do. So the moment that I realized that this was happening was when I asked myself the question, okay, what is most important to me? Basically, I got very clear about where I wanted to be and what I wanted to be working towards, and once I knew what that was, I then took a step back and said, okay, now where is all of my time going? And that was kind of where the earth shattered for me. Okay, these are all of the things that I want to harvest out of my life, but this is what I'm doing with the time that I have. I'm wasting it watching TV. I'm wasting it procrastinating online. I'm wasting it on my phone. I'm wasting it doing things or pushing off things that I know I should be doing right now, but you know, the little monkey inside my head that just wants to have fun and do the easy thing and get the easy way out kept on pushing off all of the things that I knew I should be doing, beating myself up for not doing these things and all of that fun stuff, which kept me in that negative mindset, keeping me going on and on in this cycle. I could ramble on about how this all came to be, but long story short, if you're watching this and you're resonating with anything I just said, then these are the tips and steps that I've been taking for the last, I would say, month and a half to basically get my shit together. So step number one is to be extremely honest with yourself, because it's not going to do you any good if you aren't, and define where your problems are. Your problem could be that you're feeling uninspired, unhappy, unmotivated, whatever it is. Figure it out. What is your issue? What are you feeling? Why are you feeling that way? Really clear on your bad habits, you know, like sleeping through your alarm or procrastinating things to the very last day, or not going to the gym or not eating healthy, or whatever your bad habits are. Even if it's in terms of socializing, if you're wanting to work on the relationships in your life and you're wanting to grow the amount of people you are around every day, or the amount of people that make an influence on you and that you make an influence on them, if you want to grow and expand your relationships but you notice you have terrible social habits, even that is clarifying, you know, this is where I'm going wrong, this is what my problem is. And like I said, a really good way to do this is to establish what it is you're trying to work towards for your life, and then take a step back, but what am I actually spending my time on? So first and foremost, you can't fix the problem if you don't define the problem. Which leads me into step number two, and this is always the funnest part about getting your life back on track, and that's getting inspired. And tying that back into the last point that I just made, if you have no idea what your drive and your focus wants to be towards, if you have no idea what kind of goals you want to set for yourself or what kind of life you want to be living, and that is why you feel like you're wasting your time, then look around and find somebody that's living a life that you are envious of. And I'm not saying like envious in a bad way, because jealousy, that's like a whole other video I can make, but I just mean, who is killing it at life? Who do you look at and go, God damn, I wish I had that life, or God damn, I wish I was doing those things? It could be Beyonce, it could be your next door neighbor, it could be someone that is living a happy and content life just being married with a family, it could be someone traveling the world, it could be someone in Broadway, it could be anybody. Find somebody where you're like, that is exactly the life I want to live, or that is exactly the morals I want to have, or that's exactly, you know, the self-discipline I want. Figure out the kind of life and the kind of morals and the type of personality traits that you want to acquire. I wish I was the type of person who, and fill in that blank. Wish I was the type of person that got up at 6 a.m. to go for a run. I wish I was the type of person that meal prepped my meals, or I wish I was the type of person that walked into a room and was friends with everybody. I wish I was the type of person that was filming videos every single day and traveling the world, or whatever it is. When you come up with this alter ego, whoever's life it was that you were envious of, or you can even just do this and create your own name, create your own alter ego and say, this is my alter ego, and this version of me is the person that gets up at 6 a.m., is the person that goes for runs, is the person that meal preps, does these things, travels the world. And so that kind of forces you to get out of the I am not that way and puts you in the mindset that I already am that way, so it's a no-brainer. I'm gonna do the things that make me that person. This sounds ridiculous and far too easy, but it actually works. Other ways to get inspired are to change things up, change your surroundings, work with what you have, talk to people around you. Basically what I'm saying here is align your thoughts and your actions with your end sight in mind, and that's going to gain you momentum and get you inspired. And if you guys are still listening to me say all these things and thinking to yourself, yeah, I say I'm gonna do all these things, but I probably actually won't. There are two types of people in this world. There are people who are reactive and there are people that are proactive. You can be the reactive person, sit back, watch your life flash before your eyes and just constantly be reacting to it. You're not proactively going after things. You're just letting life happen, pretending you have no control over it, and then being reactive and emotional about it and thinking life is unfair, and again, thus completes the cycle. Or you can be a proactive person and you can stop making excuses. You can start finding the inspiration and you can start going for things, and even if you don't end up getting exactly what you want, you're gonna end up pretty damn close. To tie that back in, what I'm saying here is get inspired and get excited about the things that you want to start changing in your life. Which leads me into tip number 3, which is probably one of the most crucial steps in this, and one that we often tend to veer off course. This is usually the part where we get to and then we drop off, and it's cultivating a plan. You can have all the inspiration and all the motivation in the world, but if you have no set plan, no set rules or guidelines for yourself, you're not gonna know what the hell you're doing or where you're going. When you put rules and guidelines on yourself, you're actually giving yourself more freedom. And I know that sounds contradictory, but think of it like this. If you were to take the time to come up with not only a routine or a schedule for yourself, but also just some hard and fast rules, like for instance, I don't stay up past midnight. I get up at this time every single day. I meal prep every Thursday and every Sunday. Those are hard and fast rules that I have set for myself that I will not let myself break free from. That gives me way more time, way more freedom to use my brain power on other things. So cultivate a plan that's going to get you back on track for whatever you feel like you need to be getting back on track for, whether that be, you know, making a meal plan for yourself, making a workout schedule for yourself. Get as detailed about your plan and your rules as possible so that you know exactly what you should be doing at which time. And don't go overboard with this. Be sure to give yourself that reward for every time you work hard too. Don't think like you can't put aside any time for leisure. Don't think like you can't put any side of time to just not have a plan. Just make sure that that is part of your plan, you know? Like every Sunday, I don't plan anything those days. I just do whatever I want so that I don't get tapped out and I don't get frustrated and overwhelmed. And lastly, tip number 4, and this is the second most popular place where we all drop off, and this is actually where I tend to drop off, is that I love the planning process. It is my favorite part. If you asked me to plan a schedule from now until the end of me being 40 years old, I would probably love every single second of it, but then when it came to doing it, that is usually where my troubles lie. You actually have to now do it.
Just do it!
Stop thinking about it, stop talking about it. In a lot of ways, when we say that we're unmotivated about things, what we're really saying is that we just don't feel like doing it. We're spending all this time thinking about doing it and looking for thoughts and mindsets that are gonna somehow magically make us do it, but in all reality, if you just do it, it's done. And not only that, it'll create a domino effect and get the ball rolling for you to do the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Our thought process is usually what talks us out of doing the things that we want to be doing most because we think we're going to fail, or we think this will go wrong, or we think that what's the point? We've become accustomed to not wanting to really work for anything anymore. And so when we see anything as a huge daunting task, our action just goes, hell no, I'm not doing that. That seems like it's going to take way too long. So break it down and make it so that each task and each daily to do is going to give you that sense of small gratification, and then act on it.
Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can!
In the book You Are Badass, which I've talked about a million times, you guys are probably so sick of hearing about it, she says this one quote that is like, people who want to change their lives will find a way, and people who really don't will find an excuse. So it's totally up to you. You can find a way to get things back on track and feel like you're really working towards the life that you strive for, or you can find an excuse not to. And at the end of the day, the only person it's hurting is yourself. The only person that's going to be unhappy for you not doing these things things is you, because it's what you really want out of life and you're the only one who can make yourself get it. So there you have it. Those are the 4 most important guidelines into which I have felt like I've really put my life back on track. And so for any of you guys that are watching that might feel like you've been in a bit of a rut or you couldn't get motivated, and especially during these winter months, then I'm telling you, just try these 4 steps, even if you just do it for a week, and see if it makes any difference on your mindset, on your motivation, and on your life, because I am going to bet a lot of money that it will. I love you guys to the moon and back. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and other than that, I am going to go do all the other things that I have on my schedule for today. So I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye guys.
Make your dreams come true!